G'day guys, Jake here with Journey Van Builds. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of a ceiling fan in your van conversion. Now, I'll tell you straight up, I am a huge fan of these. In fact, even on a budget build, I recommend they are one of the first big ticket items that you'll splurge out and spend a bit of cash on because they do make such a huge difference to the livability as well as the health of your conversion going into the future. But we'll go through a few of the benefits to help you decide for yourself whether that's something that you would like to do. So first of all, I would say to you, if you've taken the trouble to properly insulate the ceiling and walls of your camper van, then a ceiling fan is probably for you because effectively they are two sides of the same coin, both working together to achieve the same ends, which is your temperature control and prevention of condensation and moisture in your van. So essentially, all your insulation is doing as far as temperature control goes is increases the resistance that your ceiling and walls have in absorbing the outside temperature of the van. So if it's a hot day, it takes longer for that heat to seep in. On a cool night, it takes longer for that chill to set in. But with that being said, a van's walls are only so thick, there's only so much insulation can do. So eventually the outside elements will make their way into your van. And that is exactly where the ceiling fan comes in. One time I was helping a friend in their fully insulated van looking at their battery system, and after 20 minutes I realized I was absolutely dripping in sweat. Now this was a really hot day and that van just turned into a hot tin can. Now, I didn't even think much of it at the time. I just thought I needed to be out of this other person's van while I'm sweating so much. So I came back to my own van where I had left the fan on and realized that it was so much cooler in there, which was a really nice thing to find. I was already kind of a fan of the ceiling fans, pun absolutely not intended. But on that day, I sort of realized it was literally the difference between me dripping in sweat and me being quite comfortable. Although, of course, they are not miracle workers. It was still hot in my van, but it was manageable. So as far as temperature control goes, again, they're not miracle workers, but they definitely make things much more livable, much more comfortable than they would otherwise be. Just the constant circulation, getting that hottest air out of the van, getting some airflow through, it really does make a noticeable difference. Secondly, for your insulation and your ceiling fan, whether you realize it or not, the bigger benefit is probably how those things are helping prevent condensation from forming inside your van. Condensation, which of course can lead to mold, water damage, or even in some nightmare scenarios, electrical shorts from occurring. Basically, if you've ever slept in a tent or even in a van or a car overnight, then you know the amount of water that comes out of your breath throughout the night and forms on the tent walls or the windows is no joke. That is actually a lot of water by the morning. So what you really want to avoid is all of that water from forming inside your ceiling space or behind your wall spaces and just getting trapped there and creating mold, water damage, again, all kinds of nasty things. So there are two ways that you can avoid that from happening. Number one, again, which your insulation is doing, is increasing the resistance of the cool night air from penetrating to the inside of your van. The other way you can combat that is by reducing the amount of moisture in the air inside the van from your breath, which is where, again, the fan comes in. I will actually leave the ceiling fan on overnight, even if it's a comfortable temperature or even a little bit cold, purely for the benefit of getting some airflow through the van, some fresh air in, and extracting all of that moisture-filled air as well. So basically, guys, when you're living on the road, your two biggest enemies are heat and moisture. And a ceiling fan goes a long way to helping you combat both of those things, which is why I am a huge fan. So hopefully, as an absolute minimum, I've given you a few things to think about that will help you decide whether you want to invest in one of these things for yourself. But what I would suggest is that if you've taken the trouble to watch this video until this point, it means you really do care about your conversion, you're taking the trouble to properly research, you've probably properly insulated, then I would suggest that this investment is absolutely for you. Just bite the bullet, invest that little bit of extra cash, and when you're on the road, you will absolutely thank me for it. I can guarantee you that. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want any other tips, tricks, or advice, then head to my YouTube page, check out some of my other videos, or catch me on socials where I'm doing my best to help you out on this van conversion journey. Catch you on the next one.